In this video, I want to discuss cosmetic surgery. Can it just eliminate an insecurity like that? Well, here's my experience. My insecurity was my entire life I had a lazy eye. It didn't like wander around, but if my right eye is angled this way, my left eye was angled this inwards to the right. So I'd be making eye contact with a person, and depending on the eye they looked at, they'd think I was either looking at them or I was looking over their shoulder. All the time I'd talk to people. And this is people that didn't even notice that I had a lazy eye. But truthfully, they were. They just weren't really conscious of it. Because all the time when I'd talk to people, they'd be going like this. Looking over their shoulder because they're like, what's he looking at? By the way, lots of people did notice. I'd get comments on it my whole life since I was in like elementary school. Which I never perceived as bullying. Nobody ever actually bullied me for my eyes. They just would mention it like an observation because that's something they're seeing. I did have one of my best friends growing up would always do this thing where like I'd sit across from him in middle school or junior high, and he would like, since my eye would be looking past his shoulder, he would look at me like this, like, "Hey Jed, what's up? How you doing, Jed?" Like clearly not looking at me. Sometimes this is a scary one. I'd be talking to somebody who's straight in front of me, and this eye would be looking this way at somebody. I've had people we'd be standing in a circle, and I've had like maybe 2 or 3 occasions. Like once this girl was like, "Okay, why are you staring at me?" And she was like, me and this girl weren't friends. We weren't close. It was so uncomfortable and uncomfortable for her too, because I don't really look out of my left eye. It's just kind of, I can see out of it, but it's like my focus is this eye, my right eye. My left eye is just kind of peripheral there. Because the reason for that is that your brain, when you have one eye that's angled weird, your brain has to learn to ignore that eye. Because if your brain's taking in information from both eyes, then you won't be able to walk straight because you'll literally be looking in 2 directions. So it has to ignore the wonky eye. Even after I got it fixed, it still kind of ignores my left eye. But anyway, it would be so uncomfortable for that girl too, to be sitting there and having, in a circle and having me like, just staring at, she thinks I'm just staring at her for 5 minutes. And she probably was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then she finally hits a point where she can't take it anymore. And she's like, "Stop! Why are you staring at me?" And I had to explain then to this circle, "I'm so sorry. I wasn't staring at you. My left eye was." That's a great explanation. So after a few of that growing up, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to get it fixed. So the way they fix it is basically you have these muscles around, as far as my understanding, if you're a doctor watching this, which I know tons of doctors probably watch my channel, you have your eyeball, and then there's like muscles around it. So let's say the one that's turned, the muscles on the outside of the eyeball, let's use my face as an example. Here's the muscles. My face is the eyeball. The muscles are too long on this side, which lets the eyeball turn in like this. So what they do is they cut these muscles like this, and then they pull the eye in and they sew them back together, straightening the eye out by shortening the muscle. That's, I think, a pretty decent explanation of strabismus surgery, I think is what it's called. I should know better, and I should research it, but my keyboard battery dies, so I can't Google anything, and I film these videos on my phone, so I can't Google while filming. Moving on. So, every photograph I ever took, every conversation I ever had, I had to think about my eye, because nothing's more annoying than when I was on Vine, I'd post a video talking like blah, 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 blah. And then I'd read the comments, and it wasn't that often, but some of the comments would be like, "What's going on with his eyes? What is he looking at?" Or sometimes from this angle, let's say I was filming a Vine from this angle, this eye would literally be breaking the 4th wall, staring at the actual lens. Even though I'm looking like a side view, this eye was so turned in, it would be breaking the 4th wall looking at the lens. So I was like, I finally was like, I can't do this anymore. I messaged my dad, and I was like, "Dad," because he got it, because I think I don't know for sure if it's genetic, but I know that my dad has it, and his dad has it. And my dad got surgery and fixed his as well. So I messaged him. I was like, Dad, I need to get this thing fixed. Like, I can't keep dealing with it. And I was like, and it's affecting me online. I was doing well on Vine at the time. I had like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 followers on Vine. I was like, I'm so invested in this, and I can't keep having this burden that I feel like I have to hide. Towards the end of my Vines, I started just squinting in my Vines. Like, some of them, my eyes are literally just closed because I was like, I hate this. Dude, come do fireworks.
Fireworks trigger my PTSD.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you went to war.
I didn't. I actually just burnt my asshole with a sparkler last year.
So, he was like, oh, come on. There's some people that make it in the, like, as an actor. That's not really what I was trying to do, but in his terms, he's like, oh, there's actors out there with lazy eyes. And I was like, oh, you want to see the actors that have lazy eyes? Well, here they are. And I literally sent him these pictures. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait, Dad. You're right. I can one day be a village idiot in the background of an Adam Sandler movie. The only role for a guy with eyes like mine. Yay! It was funny because he responded like, ha ha ha, okay, let's get it done. Like, that was enough to just convince him that it was like, yeah, we should do this. And also, I wasn't trying to be an actor like in movies. I was just trying to make internet videos at the time, just to clarify that. So I went and I got it done. It was the easiest, quickest, nicest surgery of anything I've ever done. It was like, went in there, laid on the table, they start putting you to sleep, and you wake up in what feels like the gap of time between the surgery is like collapsed. So it's just waking up, or going to sleep, and waking up. And woke up, and here's a video I posted after the surgery.
All right, so I had the surgery yesterday morning. It still kind of hurts. They didn't give me like none of the good pain meds. So I'm taking ibuprofen. That works, I guess. It looks a lot straighter and red. So we'll see how it looks when it's gone. Hopefully it's good. I don't really have anything else to say in this video.
I swear, he's trying his hardest to lick my eyeball, my surgery eye, which is going to infect it with your dirty-ass tongue, and I'm going to die. Who's going to feed you, Kova, huh?
Alright, so it's been like 3 days. Eyes still super red. Vision's a little different. Better in a way, but not as comfortable. But, you know, I'm making do. So, my eye was super red. I actually kind of liked it, to be honest. It was kind of cool. It didn't really hurt, aside from just feeling like a headache that was sort of isolated in my eye. And the redness stayed around for a while, though. In my personal situation, the insecurity vanished. It was like the nicest thing one of the most important and impactful things I've ever done. It was like, and that sounds weird because it's like just something with my appearance that shouldn't matter, but it's like, it mattered so much to me. And even while my eye was red, I remember telling people, like my family, like, I would rather have a permanently red eye that's straight than a crooked one. And no offense to anybody that's still rocking a really crooked eye. If you like it, I know I've seen some people online talk about like, my lazy eye is really cute. It's like, good for you that you like it. My big thing for not liking it was always mostly an eye contact thing as well, where it's like, I want to be able to look at a person and we're looking at each other. Not this weird, it creates a disconnect when you're looking at a person with a lazy eye. There is an undeniable disconnect because both of your eyes aren't connecting with the other person. So growing up, like 3D movies, when you're watching a 3D movie, you need, in a theater with glasses, you need both lenses, your eyes looking through both lenses for 3D to work. It never worked for me, of course, because I was like watching with one eye through one lens. But after the surgery, I actually can see 3D in movies. And I thought that was awesome. I actually kind of didn't expect it, and it was really cool. After the surgery as well, it was kind of weird driving. I felt like I was seeing too much because I could see somewhat out of my left eye. It did definitely improve. I was saying it didn't improve. It does improve it somewhat in my case, which maybe that's rare. I don't know. A thing I want to add is, I don't know if my experience with my eye surgery really relates to other cosmetic surgeries. Like, let's say you want a nose job or your lips done or something. I don't know if I can't personally recommend that. One, because there's no real like universal standard for how noses and lips should be, the shape and everything else. Like, it's not as clear as it is with eyes, is what I'm saying. So eyes, the standard that it should be is both pointing forward. So if one's really wonky, it's like there's an absolute clear way on how to fix that. Whereas if you don't like your nose, you could get it fixed and have it look, you might not like it. So I'm not sure if a surgery would immediately fix that problem. You'd have to Google nose surgery videos or something. But I also don't live with like a huge insecurity about those things, so I can't say you shouldn't look into getting something surgically fixed. But I do know when I had posted my first photo on Instagram of my surgery of my eyes, I remember getting DMs of people talking about like, oh my God, like, thank you for sharing your experience getting that fixed. Like, I have these things I want fixed. And my thought always was, that's crazy. Like, we all have a friend who has some crazy insecurity and they want surgery on it. And you're like, the only thing that needs fixed with you is your perception of yourself. Oh, my head's too big. I can't wait to save up and get a skull reduction. Oh, okay, Janet. Go for it. No, sometimes I'm just like, so I can't really advocate. It's case by case, but I will say the eye surgery, if you have a lazy eye, go for it. I think insurance covered it. I ended up spending like $500, I think. Like that was my deductible or whatever. So I'd pay $2,000 probably. I'd pay more than that. It was so impactful for me. So hopefully people see this video and take something of value from it. That was my whole experience. Anyway, that's the end of this video. This was a very niche topic, so hopefully people find it that we're looking for this type of thing. And I'll be back to posting my regular stuff after this one. Yeah, please comment, subscribe, and I'll post again soon. So after I recorded that, I realized, like, I've never said the word niche out loud. I was like, did I say that right? I Google it to make sure I did. Or YouTube it. Look at the pronunciation video that came up. Oh my God.
Nigh chair. Nigh chair. Nigh chair.